Good evening, everyone. I'm your new host. Welcome to an evening at CUES with our sponsor, David Keem at Best Sleep Center. Thank you, David. So an evening at CUES is a venue where we can have local artists, such as photographers, painters, and of course, musicians, come up to our stage or on our walls and present what they do best. Tonight is no different. We actually had the pleasure of having Trampy Trails, that is his stage name, and he actually opened up in season 2 for one of our shows, so today he has his very own show, and I'm grateful that he's here because his music is quite amazing.
Thank you.
So I'd like to start off a little bit with introducing Trampy Trails. Would you like to give us your name and maybe a little bit about who you are?
Sure, okay. Well, good evening. My name is Thomas Sturr. My stage name is Trampy Trails. I should actually lose the glasses. I'm 18. And I've been writing songs for a couple years now. I'm in high school. I'm in grade 12 at the University of Winnipeg Collegiate. I don't know what I want to do with my life yet after that.
Well, you don't have it planned out? You don't know what you're going to be?
I'm not exactly. I write songs. It's good though. I write songs about how clueless I am. So.
Well, Thomas is going to start off with a song called Strange People. But before I let him start, I'd like to maybe find out what exactly that song is about.
Okay, so that song is about growing up in the north end of Winnipeg. And everyone, I tell my friends, I'm from the north end, and they're like, oh, really? Isn't that the hood? And I mean, I look at them, I'm like, well, I've never been mugged or stabbed or jumped or anything, so I think I'm fine. I turned out pretty good. So I actually wrote this song the same night as the Santa Claus parade. I was at the bus stop with a bunch of people, and I remember how some kind of mayoral candidate, they all talk about transit, and they all say, like, nobody wants to take transit because it has a whole bunch of strange people on the bus. And I'm pretty sure that they're referring to the people who ride it in the north end, because everyone talks about how terrible the number 18 bus is. So I was just kind of standing at the bus stop, and I was thinking, oh, well, I'm one of the strange people. I don't care. So, yeah.
Well, without further ado, Trampy Trails.
Strange people waiting at the bus stop, smoking their cigarettes and watching time go by. Strange people, broken glass from a bad fight, left over from a rest last night as I walk down the street. Strange people, walking around with garbage bags, moving out in their best rags, resenting the cold. Strange people, I go to bed with sirens on my pillow, wake up, the sun shining through my window on my block of centennial-proven houses. On my street I know I'll never go. Strange people, holding their family clothes, unafraid, unaware of foes, examples to see. Strange people, working for the weekend and loving dearly when they can, getting by fine. Strange people, riding bikes down Scotia Street, going by their drummer's beat and hanging out at Sev. Strange people, grew up and never moved away, know that they're meant here to stay. No complaints. Strange people, go to bed with sirens on my pillow, wake up, the sun shining through my window on my block of centennial-proven houses. On my street I know I'll never go. I tell my friends and they think I'm from the hood. I don't care, we'll always be misunderstood. On my block we're artists and we're expressional, and we don't get too professional, and we're always proud to be strange people. There's a warm glow on the window pane, dogs barking in my back lane, and trees they do keep strange people. We all ended up here somehow, it'll never not be our home now, and God knows I'm proud, strange people. Okay, so the next song, these first 7 songs are from my debut EP called Beneath These Trees. It was released in December, sort of on December 20th, but then I realized that Spotify takes a while to load your songs onto there, so it was actually released on Christmas by accident. So I hope that nobody thought it was a Christmas album. But so the EP is called Beneath These Trees, and it was recorded at UMFM, and it's called Beneath These Trees because it's basically all about my love-hate relationship with Winnipeg and beneath these trees of Winnipeg. So this next song is called Bus Shack Bedroom. Pack your life up in an old backpack. It's good you don't have much. You made yourself a bed in a bus shelter last night. Tomorrow it looks like you'll do it again. Scrape a meal together with what's on the street. Cans are bigger now than they used to be. I hope tonight you'll get some vitamin C. You don't care that much, you just gotta eat. Who am I to tell your tale? I've had the finest life this far. People look at you and think you failed, but I hope that you've just hit a rough spot. Walk all day with no destination in mind. You're hoping there's some work out there you're meant to find. But who would hire someone who only has experience? And all the places headhunters forget to search. Now who am I to tell your story? Had the finest I could see this far. The people look at you and say they're sorry. They only cared when you were on par. So you crawl back into your bus shack bed with just enough energy to get in. I hope tonight you'll catch a wink of sleep, and tomorrow you do it all again. The next song is called Willow. It's about a trip that I took with my dad to Ontario. We went to Soon Arrows. And on the way, we stopped at the monument to children of the residential schools at Cecilia Jaffrey Residential School. So this song is kind of about that entire trip, but it's got themes of Gord Downey and Ontario and everything like that. So yeah, this is called Willow. opinionated, like cassette tapes that are getting dated. Ganora's got a new look this year. Now the fire hall's only for beer. You make me smile and haven't done it in a while. We walked real slow so we didn't split. You said this hike would make me fit. We've been walking from 9:45 to 10. I don't know if this trail ends. 4 hours on a lake, that's not enough for goodness sake. With a pine needle chair light, I guess it's worth it for the thrill. When you get to Kenora and it's all harbor and sky, and it's what I've been dreaming about. And the drive feels so long that you stop counting in hours and you start counting in arms by the hip, where it doesn't matter what tap you choose, it's gonna be cold no matter what. It's gonna be cold no matter what. If you want some warmth, you're out of luck. Got off the highway just past Round Lake. But then I saw the swing set where Cheney got told no, not yet. And history was ugliest when we took away a dialect. So I cranked the CD deck, bebop cage and a rain check. You make me smile and you haven't done it in a while. You make me smile and you haven't done it in a while. You make me smile and you haven't done it in a while. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
So, that song was more about your trip with your dad, special time that you had together, right?
Yeah.
So do you do that quite often with your family, where you go on family trips?
Not much anymore, no. As we all kind of started to grow older and start getting kind of tired of each other. And
Now, 18 years old is old, right?
Oh, I'm not. I mean, relatively speaking, for me, it feels old.
So you've got another song coming up. It's called Alexandria.
Yep.
And you want to talk about that song a little bit and let us know what that's going to be about.
Sure, okay. Well, Alexandria is, it's not about a girl. It's about climate change, actually. I figure the way that I think of things is if there's going to be kind of natural disaster and everything, then we stand to lose things that humanity has kind of worked for. And that kind of reminded me of the Library of Alexandria, where it was kind of this giant library that collected all this knowledge from all around the world. It was kind of the epitome of human knowledge at that point, and it got destroyed. So that's the way that I look at it, is if we stand to lose everything, then we stand to lose everything that we've worked for thousands of years. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's hear Alexandria.
Sure, okay, here it is. The 45s of the 60s, the pictures of the moon, the bookstore in the park where you might spend an afternoon. Philosophy of old, the protest song so bold. Homes we built up from the ground. Our knowledge of the cosmos, the gates to the unknown, the things to find, I swear we're so close. It's all lost without our actions, neglected like the legacy of Ptolemy. It's a crime we may not accept, but it's a fate we can't expect without a change. 60s cars, our plans for Mars, and every single one of those iconic guitars. The Big Ben and the Wondrous Seven we built up from dust. The galleries of color, the sculptures made from clutter, the things we've kept safe all this far. It's all lost without our actions, neglected like the legacy of Ptolemy. It's a crime we may not accept, but it's a fate we can't expect without a change. Gone like Alexandria, lost forevermore, just for money to be made that we can't take to the grave. What's the point? Thank you. The next song is called Won't Let Go. He lives by himself in a great house, working for the moment he gets a break. In the evenings he plays his guitar, but believes it won't get better than this. On Mondays he drives out to work, on Wednesdays he jams in a cafe, on Fridays he listens to live music, and later he wonders why it isn't him. It's 'cause he won't let go. It's 'cause he won't let go. He gets by but dreams of more. It's 'cause he won't let go. It's spring now, he drives down the highway. He's listening to Dylan and Young. He goes for a hike in the forest to feel more like himself. And on the drive back home, he talks to the trains and wonders why even they sing louder.
as he drifts from side to side in his lane. It's 'cause he won't let go. It's 'cause he won't let go. He gets by but dreams of more. It's 'cause he won't let go. But soon I'll go off for university. I'll find a job for myself, and I'll live each day like the last one. Or is it living each day like it's the last? I find myself a suburban grey house, make it the best I can afford, and I'll look back on my childhood and my dreams and wonder why I didn't strive for more. It's 'cause I won't let go. It's 'cause I won't let go. I get by but dream of more. It's 'cause I won't let go. It's 'cause I won't let go. It's 'cause I won't let go. I'll get by but dream of more. It's 'cause I won't let go. Send a letter if I knew it would go through. Jot it down on paper and you'd get it later. But there's no postal code for heaven. Land of dykes, sea and sky. Loved your home and one day so would I. The miles of tulips seem to hum like your voice. Wish you didn't leave, I wish I had a choice. Because you're somewhere out there in outer space. Even from there I still see your face. Time seems so much slower as I'm growing older, hoping to be half as great as you. It's been a few years since that mighty pump stopped. On my door that morning, there came a knock. Memories of you, of us, of all the things surrounded me like church bell rings. My heart ached all that day, thinking about you and what I'd like to say. And all through it there was misery and joy. Knew I had to be more than just a little boy. 'cause you're somewhere out there in outer space. Even from there I still see your face. Time seems so much slower as I'm growing older, hoping to be half as great as you. 'Cause all my life I wanted a grandpa to fish with, someone to take me to movies, someone to talk with, someone to show me old cars, teach me about guitar. But instead of that person, I got you. But a pope could never be as blessed as I was. And how I'll miss the words from your grey fuzz. I wish that you could see the guy I'm trying to be. I guess you have, 'cause that's you. Oh, what I wouldn't do to be with you. Oh, what I wouldn't do to be with you.
Thank you.
Fantastic, Thomas. Thank you very much for that. So, in terms of your guitar playing, because I'm a musician myself, taught through music school, did you go through a school? Were you self-taught? How did that happen?
Well, guitar wasn't my first instrument. I started out with piano, and I did have lessons for that. They didn't go that far, though. I kind of prefer 6 strings over 88, quite frankly.
Well, it definitely does make a difference when you're talking 88 keys over 6 strings, right?
Exactly,
Is it
yeah.
any simpler, though?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't practice piano as long as guitar. It's kind of hard to judge, but I find it easier.
Maybe you should try the accordion, because, I mean, that's a little different.
Well, yeah.
That's not as difficult. There's no strings there,
Really,
just
that's
reeds.
true. That's true, yeah.
So Hometown is your next tune.
Yes, yeah.
And you want to tell us a little bit about that while tuning?
Okay, so I wrote this. I think that sounds good, right? Not quite. Okay. Well, anyway, I can keep talking. This song is called Hometown. I wrote it last year. What I do is I usually kind of have a bunch of lyrics that brew on my phone for a little while. I counted again. It used to be 300 like a week ago, but now I have 322 notes in my phone. And I think I counted, I have about 20 songs. So what's the note to song ratio there? I don't know, but it's not very efficient. But so I wrote this song last year, and it is, of course, about my love-hate relationship with Winnipeg. And I kind of had a bunch of lyrics brewing in my phone, like I said I do. And one of my favorite lyrics from this song is, I swear we'd beat Toronto if Panama was dry. So it's kind of a sillier song. It's got a couple silly lyrics, and yeah.
Well, let's have a listen.
Yeah, here it is.
Thanks, Thomas.
I used to think the world was all black and white back in 1920. I thought my town was a metropolis. Turns out we weren't that hefty. I got lost in the hardware store, 'cause that was all the fun I could afford. I get obsessed with something new every week, 'cause reality seems so bleak. But I know the first time I got on a plane, I went out west. I saw the hills get taller like the sun in a day. I knew I was in love. See the rocks and all the granite. I like that better than this city. Wish I could get out now. trees in winter times, here at 49 degrees. It's so cold down here, even your own shadow is bound to freeze. And good luck walking your pet if they don't have tire chains. You're the one who chose to stay here, so who else is there to blame? But I know the first time I got on a train, I went up north, across that big long flat plain. I thought it was so boring, I've seen the true north free of trees. And without sunrise, always heard a voice calling from the south, but it's such a lonely place to be. So walk down the streets Neil Young grew up on, in the houses I'll never afford. The same thing goes for those in Laurel Canyon, but there at least I wouldn't get bored. I swear it would be Toronto if only Panama was dry. I'm sure it's flat and we got no skyscrapers, but there are better reasons to cry. But I know the first big road trip I took, I went out east, landscapes more interesting than any book. Views that look like poetry, see the rocks and the granite, waterfalls, a symbol like sounds. I like that better than this city. Wish I could get out now.
Thank you. This song doesn't have a name yet. And it's about figuring out what I want to do, figuring out what I don't want to do, which I think is just as important. But it doesn't have a name yet. I told Paulo the placeholder for it is Follow Your Heart, but that seems really basic, so. And my dad might think that I may have ripped off Paul McCartney a bit. It might sound a bit like Blackbird. Don't tell him that, because if Paul McCartney hears this, then I'm done for. He has very good lawyers, so.
In the dark hours before the dawn, I wonder if I'm doing what I love. Drive out to Main Street in the snow, still questioning if I should really go. To be up at dawn is to sleep before the dusk, but that's when I get thoughts that I should trust. Beyond the dusk, beauty begins to rise, and the muse begins to take off her disguise. They say to follow your heart and generously give you a start. They start you on the path towards success, but sometimes you forfeit happiness. Driving down the highway to the light, I wonder if my destination's right. I know well where to turn and where to stop. Will the destination bring me good thoughts? You try to be selfless, but at some point you give too much of yourself and disappoint. Really, there's only one thing you should look for. It's lovely but more complex than an open door. They say to listen to your gut and give you lots of ifs, ands, or buts. They start you on the path towards success. They tell you it's the same as happiness. There are holes in my favorite jeans, and my jacket's gathering wind at the seams. And a new set with a logo isn't bad, but the money spent on that won't make me glad. Some people can't get enough from the mirror, and others just wish it would disappear. But the mirror won't remember you even for good looks. It's not what you like them to write about in your books. They say to listen to your mind and cloud it up with ideas unkind. Start you on the path towards happiness, but tell you it's the same as success.
So the next song that you have is also another original that has not been recorded.
Yeah, this is unreleased.
And again, there's no real name. You did give me a name of Loon.
Oh yeah, no, this is the permanent name.
Oh,
For
this
one.
is a permanent name.
I think this one is.
Okay,
Yeah, this one's
so
a
tell
keeper.
us about this one.
Okay, so this song is about being lonesome, and no disrespect to Elvis, but I can get all the words right. I guess nobody got that.
Okay.
But it's a song. I kind of thought about how sometimes you feel like you're getting really close to finding really, really good companionship and really good friendship, and then it disappears, and it's kind of like a loon, how when you're canoeing or something, and you get really close, and it's gone. Yeah, just like that. So I thought, well, that's a kind of an interesting way to think of it, and again, everything comes back to Winnipeg. So, I mean, we have a river in Winnipeg, so I kind of talk about as if it's like a loon that I can hear calling from the river, but I can never quite get close enough to.
Well, let's have a listen.
Sure.
Thanks, Thomas.
Every time I try to go, you beg me home with the sunrise. In the crisp and cold air, you work yourself behind my eyes, bringing us together in the confluence they misnamed, making us fall in love with your dirty, broken down, selfish ways. my loon out on the river. I know I shouldn't rush, since the thought still makes me quiver. There are hundreds of bends where I think that I could find you. When I get close and quiet, you slip away without a clue. It feels like so long that I've searched now, and if there's an easier way, I don't know how. I don't know if I need you to love me, just need you to be my muse and set my mind free. After dusk to learn your path. It feels like so long that I've searched now, but if there's an easier way, I don't want to know how. I don't know if I need you to love me, need you to be my muse to set my mind free. Feels like so long that I've searched now, but if there's an easier way, I don't want to know how. I don't know if I need you to love me, just need you to be my muse and to trust me.
Thank you.
But I did want to ask Thomas what your musical influences were or are, because I know mine back from the 80s, I'm talking about Duran Duran, Flock of Seagulls, Chicago, Journey, you know, those were all my idols.
Okay.
But what about for you? What is your main class of artists that maybe brought you to where you are today?
Well, given what artists you've mentioned, I think that if you measured our age in terms of what music we listen to, I'd be older than you. This is a Neil Young shirt. I like Neil Young a lot. My dad gets mad at me for that.
I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. I didn't think that was that impressive. But yeah, I like Neil Young. I like Bob Dylan. I listen to some of the Byrds, everything from Laurel Canyon, really. And as for newer music, the rare good stuff that I find, I like Micah Ehrenberg right now. He's really good. He's from Winnipeg. He's going places. He just went on tour around Europe. He's pretty good.
That's fantastic.
Andy Schoaf is a good one too. And one of my biggest favorites is Tim Baker. He was in a band called Hey Rosetta. And I'm gonna play one of their songs after. But that's a band from Newfoundland, from St. John's, and I think they're one of the most underrated bands of all time. They're just absolutely incredible. But Tim has gone solo now, and I actually got to meet him at Folk Fest this past year, which is pretty cool.
There's a lot of entertainment that we have, not only in Canada, but Manitoba, even in Winnipeg. I mean, the pool of musicians are just phenomenal.
Well, people don't realize what a hub Winnipeg is for music, really. Like, there's a massive support system here in Manitoba, which is fantastic. So.
Well, that's why this show's here, is to give people like yourself that opportunity to showcase your amazing music.
Well, thank you.
I mean, without something like this, where would you end up? You would end up playing some
I'm a
jam
busker.
somewhere.
I'd be a busker.
Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with that as well. But at least here you've got a venue in front of a live audience where people can hear you live. I mean, it's fantastic.
And they're not walking
Give them a
around a
big hand.
farmer's market. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you.
So right now you've got 2 more songs left, or
Yeah, two
more.
more originals left.
awesome.
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay, well I'll let you go with that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.
Okay. I'm actually going to talk about this song a bit more. This song doesn't have a name yet either because it's very new. It's kind of, I was inspired by a poem by Sid Marty called Sleep Beneath My Shoulder. And it's really existentialism, wondering if there's anything out there. So I wrote the first part of the song, and then I had this other part of another song that I hadn't finished, and I hadn't finished either of them, and I figured I could probably put these together and pull a Burton Cummings. So I tried doing that. But so it doesn't have a name yet, but here is the song inspired by Sid Marty.
In the night, does the world keep spinning on outside? Does it slow down for a while to let these moments freeze themselves in time? When stars come out, aren't they just like you, they're all alone? Do they also help me when I'm wrong? The light shining from you isn't so far. When I sleep, is someone out there watching me? Is it the sun setting us free? Is it just to ignore and talk till 3? How can we know if it's still real if our eyes are closed? Does the universe wither like a rose? Does that stay unchanged and unopposed? But to me it's clear, I know the earth's still there if I feel you here. And the Milky Way is gone and out of sight, and you won't let the dark take you tonight. In the woods, do bears fear hibernation or the unknown? Do they also wonder where they go? Are their fears new to me or are they old? And the birds, do they sing for the love they wish to find? Is it to ask the heavens for more time? Maybe just 4 more seeds, that's just fine. In all life, is there one thing we all can share? One thing that remains when you're not there? One thing that outlives all our cares? But to me it's clear, I know the earth's still there if I feel you here. And the Milky Way is gone and out of sight, and you won't let the dark take you tonight. Of all we've made, insignificant on the stage, I know there's one thing that remains, cannot be ignored or replaced. Is there anything beyond? Is there anything out there? What's it that keeps us hanging on through this life? And why do we work to get all this money? When money only really exists if we all agree. And why do we allow this to suppress us? We should be in control, but we sit back and we feel bad. Where do we go when we silence our voices? Do we keep them quiet until we silence our heartbeat? So what's the point? What keeps us going? Can we take back the love I know we used to have? So what's the point? Is there some destination? Can we take back the love I know we used to have? Can we take back the love I know we used to have?
Thank you. So this is going to be my last song, my last original song, and then I'm going to play a couple covers after that. I just want to say thank you, CUES, for having me. And by the way, the sound tech, I got one of their names. One of them is Tom. I don't know who the other one is. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry, but can we give them a hand, please? Because, like I say, without them, without a venue, without a sound system, I'm just a busker. So thanks to them. So this is my last original song tonight. This is very, very new. It's called A Million Paper Cuts.
She is lived to feel a million paper cuts. Cuts from the hill. Cuts from the silence. Today she stands straight, holding her ground. They want her to play it down. She gets her daily bread, but there's a target on her head. Love, love looks silent, but it is always still there. And there is gets violent. And those who enforce it don't seem to care. Running a standstill from the ever-nearing dread. She holds her ground to be free. And there's a dress draped on the city. And that dress is colored red. And now she's gone because of a million paper cuts. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
So are there any last words that maybe you would like to say to the audience or to anyone watching the show on television?
Oh boy, it's on television? didn't
Well,
realize that.
just a little bit on television.
That explains the cameras. Oh, okay. Well, hi, hey. I mean, I kind of forgot to announce it. I made shirts on the weekend. I have a couple of shirts in my bag if anyone wants to buy a Trampy Trails shirt. I don't know. My dad's showing it off there.
Oh, there you
If
go.
you'd like one. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. I mean, I don't know. If you guys want to follow me, if you have Instagram, I'm on Instagram as Trampy Trails. That's my stage name. And I'm guessing people are kind of wondering what the hell Trampy Trails means, right?
Well, I'd love to hear what it's about.
Yeah, okay. I don't talk about it much. My friends always ask me, and I say, well, you got to, I don't know, I'll tell you some other day, right? I tend to be kind of secretive about it, but I guess I can talk about it. It's my dad and I were watching Lightning in a Bottle, which is the B.B. King movie, when I was about 4 years old. And he looked at me and he said, hey, if you're going to be a musician, then you have to have a stage name. So what's your stage name going to be? So 4-year-old me, out of nowhere, the first thing that I could say, it makes no sense because I was playing with Lego and I don't know what even Trampy Trails means, but I said Trampy Trails. And later on I figured, my dad's name is Thomas Sturt too, and so is mine. The story is that I came out and they were like, oh no, it's not a girl, what do we name him? So I say, I think that it's a better name to use a different name other than my dad's name, because if people Google Thomas Sturt, then they're going to get an occupational therapist from the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, right? And they're going to say, what? I'm looking for a musician. Right, and then they're going to be talking to my dad, and they're going to say, oh my goodness, you're Thomas Sturt? You wrote those songs? You look so much older than in your pictures. I mean, relatively. But yeah, so I figured, Trampy Trails, it's mine, and it works, so there.
Well, as long as it works for you, Trampy Trails. So, Thomas, I'd like to thank you very much for being here at
Thanks
An
for having
Evening
me.
at CUES. And I'd like to thank also our sponsor, David Keane, Best Sleep Center. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming out this evening and joining us at An Evening at CUES.
So this song is a song by Hey Rosetta called Bricks.
Just feel them multiply. Like 100 flies in the sweet summer night. In the woods they were waiting. In a word they arrived. One out from your red mouth and armies alive. There's one to say it, you can't take it back. It was a beautiful home we had, built with our own two hands. In the amber years we got left, gone in a single breath. They put their eyes to the rifles. There was a quick fist of light, and we were bricks in a pile. 'Cause one to say can't take it back. One to say you can't take it back. Just feel them multiply like 100 mouths aimed at the words in your breath.